In this video, we're going to talk about slope-intercept form when we're dealing with a linear function. So here's some of the things we're going to cover. We're going to talk about what slope-intercept form looks like, what it tells us about the graph, and then we're going to go through these steps for how to graph from an equation and how to write an equation from a graph. Okay. So slope-intercept form gives us these two exact parts of our graph. So there are only a certain number of key parts to a linear function, and slope and the x and y intercept are those key points. Well, slope-intercept form tells us the slope and the y-intercept. So we say y equals mx plus b, and m and b are going to be given as some numeric values that represent these two parts of our graph. So what we start with when we graph from an equation, we need a point so that we can use the slope to find another point. Well, since it gives us the y-intercept, we're going to graph that first and then use slope to find more points. So this first equation, slope is -1/2 and the y-intercept is 3. So it intersects the y-axis at +3, so that's our y-intercept. And then our slope is -1/2. So we can go a couple ways, right? So remember that if we go down 1, that is a negative direction. So that takes care of our negative there. So we can go down 1. And then since 2 has to be positive, then we go to the right 2. If we go up 1, well, that's positive direction, and our slope is negative, so then we have to go to the left 2 because that's a negative direction, right? So we can go down 1 and to the right 2 over and over again. Or we can go up 1 and left 2. And we do want to go both directions for a few points, so we make sure that we've got our graph well represented for our line. Okay, so this is y equals -1/2 x plus 3. So if we graph the second one, go ahead and try it yourself. Pause the video. I go to my y-intercept of -6. And my slope is 3. Well, that doesn't give me a fraction for my rise over run. But if we turn 3 or any whole number into a fraction, it's going to be over 1. So 3 over 1. So that means I'm going up 3 and to the right 1. Or I can go down 3 and to the left 1. I run out of room here. So this one, I can really only go up and to the right. One more. So now make sure when you're graphing by hand, you're very clearly showing where your points go. And I want you to notice that if we were to take any of these points on this line for this, well, either equation, but let's look at the second one. This is the point 2, 0. Right, so 2, 0. So if I plug those into my equation, my y value is 0, my x value is 2, and 3 times 2 is 6. 6 minus 6 gives me 0. So that is true. And that's going to be the same for any point on this line. When you plug it in for your equation, it should always be true. Right? If I plug in 2, 1, it's not going to be true. Now, writing the equation for a graph, we kind of have to go the opposite direction here. We have to look at the y-intercept, count our rise over run to get slope, and then just substitute those in to our equation. So my slope is right, or excuse me, my y-intercept is right here. That's at a +4. So I know that my y-intercept is going to be a +4. And now I have to look at a point where these dashed lines intersect. And it looks like it's going to be right here. So if I draw another point right there and count, this is down 1 to the right 3. So -1 over +3. Let's just double check to make sure that that's true the whole way, because if I count this wrong, then I'm going to get a different slope. So if I go down 1 and to the right 3 again, I hit that point. If I go up 1 to the left 3, I hit that point. So looks like -1 over 3 is my correct slope. So now just in front of my x, I put my slope -1 over 3.